let's roll with it. Let's do this thing because we're about to see.
Only 1 hour and 5 minutes later,
Yeah,
the biggest bodge job in Tomorrow history is complete.
Yeah, we are gonna have to. We are gonna see how long this works for. So we will go until it dies. If it dies, it dies.
So hello everyone. Just a bit of backstory of what's been happening. I joined Zoom Room 1. We have 2 Zoom rooms at Tomorrow, so I joined number 1, which is the normal one we usually use. And let's just put it this way. The audio was terrible. There was some weird stuttering noises. No clue how to fix it. Jared tried to restart the machine, and it's just been swirling ever since.
Yeah, it sounded like an Audiker song, but like really loud. It just wasn't all that great.
So then I joined Zoom Room number 2, but for some reason the video output for Room 2 isn't going into the switcher properly. So Jared has had to join Zoom Room 2 as a participant from the technical director computer in the control room, and is then sending the monitor feed from the technical director computer into the switcher. So technically my video and my audio are coming from 2 different places, from 2 different machines. So if it's a little bit out of sync, that is why. But at least you can see me.
Yeah, you're looking entirely in sync to me over here.
Okay, that's good.
And I'm an ocean and a country away from you, so I just want to say very big props to you, Ryan, for working that. We were you were very much working the problem, and I was just monkey pulling the levers.
I was Googling away, trying to figure out how to access things.
And I was just making everything. I was just following your instructions, I guess is how I would say it, because I'm inept at 204. So things like that. So I guess we'll officially start by saying hi, everybody. For those of you. For those of you who watch live, thank you so much for sticking with us. If you have, for those of you who are watching on demand, sorry if you were going to watch live but you're not, or if you're watching on demand, now you know about why we started so late with this here. I'm Jared. We also got Ryan over there. This is a lot harder than it looks. We're gonna be talking a little bit about it. Yeah, it's Kylie as actually. Okay, I'm gonna work with this. I'm gonna work the stream deck here.
Let's see.
So we'll see how much is broken. All right, you ready, internet? All right. So as Kylie is saying, hey, there we go. It says we had fun in chat. There were games and Q&A and other really cool things to go with that. So and it came back exactly like we wanted it to as well. Excellent. Also want to say happy birthday to Melanie 1202. Always happy to get that out to Mel. So happy birthday, Melly, with that there. All right, Ryan, I know you just basically did the backbone of all of the work for here at 204. So why don't you keep going and just do the backbone of all the show, which is to talk a little bit.
Really slick transition, right? Really slick transition.
Yeah, I just gotta make sure that that everything's okay with it there. And ooh, look at that. Okay, now a cool thing here is that I don't think I can pull your screen up entirely. So there are parts of me that want to push buttons here for that, but I also don't want to lose you. So that's cool. What's that?
That's actually what you can see there is the European service module, and on the top is the Earth, and on the bottom is the Moon. And we've been getting a couple of really cool pictures like this out of NASA over the last couple of days as Orion officially begins to exit its deep retrograde orbit around the Moon. Orion is on its way back to Earth as we speak, and it's really cool to see. And I've got another.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
There it is.
Yeah, I don't know about all of our viewers, but I gotta say everything that I've been seeing.
This is another one without the solar array.
everything that I've been seeing coming from these images from Orion has just been absolutely amazing, and I'm just blown away by everything with it. And also, that's what a lot of our chat room is saying. David G is saying,
and these are also really high quality images. These are, I can properly zoom in like this, and just you can get right in depth of the capsule and see literally all of the rivets. And this is. Let's not forget, this is from what's basically a glorified GoPro, literally, on the end of a solar array, in deep space, being transmitted over, I think it's the Deep Space Network, and the amount of bandwidth that NASA are able to get is just awesome to see, because we get this access to so many cool high-resolution pictures, which... I'd say historically with missions to the moon of crew vehicles, we've only ever gotten through post like film development and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's just been so much that's been happening with this that is just like astounding to what a time to be alive is, as the joke goes. And I like Arvale here, who's just kind of sort of speaking to your point a little bit, Ryan, about how Apollo was mostly after the fact with it. Well, Arvale is saying, and just think about how many more we'll get after it splashes down and they get the memory cards back. That's
like we're just getting like a little sprinkle here. The everything that we're going to be getting after Artemis 1, the debrief of this mission is just going to be absolutely amazing, and I can't wait for that part.
Yeah, it has been absolutely wild. And also, I want to bring this up from Kylie Williams here, which is a really good one, which has actually been happening at my other job as well. Because there's a lot of I interact a lot with kids and science and stuff at my other job besides at Griffith. Which Kylie's saying that my 7-year-old nephew has been blown away by the pics of the moon and Earth, definitely inspiring the next generation. And that's pretty much been the talk of all the kids throughout every single grade level I've interacted with over the past 2 weeks since launch, is that everybody, they are all just like stoked about Artemis and all the images that are coming back from it. I mean I am too. It's literally, that is on my phone right there, the really great one.
Hang on.
With it, there it is. There's the Orion. And there's Orion, there's the service module, and then there's the moon, and there's the Earth. So, like,
actually, that's quite cool.
I just cannot. Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's some
nice
framing. So,
every time a new image comes through, I've been adding. I have a folder of wallpapers that switch every time I turn on and off my Mac. So I've just been filling that folder with images. So there you go. Then like a magic trick.
Fantastic. I was gonna say, yeah. You got an Orion behind you there.
Hang on,
Orion
Orion
behind Ryan. It's a like run. Oh,
ta-da!
Oh,
ta-da!
Oh, wow! Look at the fire. The rocket rises.
Ta-da! I can keep going forever if you want me to.
Well, it's been.
Ta-da! That's all of them.
Yeah, very, very nice with that. There is David Boddington in our chat room saying Ryan Orion. So is that like Duran, maybe? But yeah, it's stunning to see that. Eka talking about, Earthrise picture from Apollo is a major inspiration to me as a kid. Pedro here is asking about live images from Orion, and yesterday when I was at work with a group of kids, we actually watched the retrograde. Was it the distant orbit retrograde burn? The burn to come home, basically. We watched it live.
Yeah, it's probably got some really long NASA acronym like they usually do, but the burn out of orbit, basically. Yeah,
the burn to come home. It was absolutely stunning. I was blown away by it. It was amazing, and I loved every single second of it. This has been great, just because it's nice to see Orion.
And I don't know how up to date this is. It's a bit pixelated, but that should be like live images from Orion. So yeah, that's coming straight from NASA.
Okay.
This is meant to be the service module. It's about 5 pixels at the moment, so I don't know if that will increase in quality if the connection's just a bit dodgy at the moment. But yeah.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. With that there, and I just want to say that every night over the past couple of weeks, when I've been able to see the moon, I've looked up at the moon and I've thought to myself that we have a spaceship there. So, and that's like something that I've never had in my life. So like there's been times where I've been like, oh yeah, there's a there's a couple satellites going around it. How neat is that? But now I can like look at it and because we have this situation where Jamie is not here, I can happily say that there's a crewed spacecraft in orbit around the moon, and that's amazing with it. And I'm kind of blown away by that, just looking up at that and knowing that that's what's happening there.
Yeah,
it's just astounding. Colton, Colton, that's a little mean there. Next week we're starting a GoFundMe for Ryan for breaking his max change. So yeah, thanks for that, Colton. We appreciate it. Maybe we can do a GoFundMe for Zoom. Anyways, no, I'm not gonna do that.
New audio drivers.
That's not nice. So these things fry more than eggs. So, and then, Micronite does have a pretty good point there with it, which is that it'll be more exciting once there are people on board. And of course, it's obviously it's going to be significantly more exciting once there are people on board. But I mean, also at the same time, like at least for folks like me and Ryan, we've been in low Earth orbit all our life. So so this is something really special. I mean, that's what I said, right? I stayed up way past when I should have gone to sleep for the the launch, just because
I got up way too early than I should have done for the launch.
I did that just because I wanted to hear the whatever the official call was for go for translunar injection, so because I just wanted to hear that. So and it happened.
Not Daryl's line at launch, which was, I can't even remember now, like something like "We rise together above and beyond."
Oh yeah, something like that. No, that's not what I was listening for. So no, I'm not really about the cheese factors with it. So
I like the NASA call-outs because it's only a thing that NASA does. SpaceX doesn't have that. SpaceX leaves the countdown to the person on the net, and they just say something like "Go Falcon 9, go Starlink."
Yeah, but see, if they...
It's just bland and boring. Spice it up a bit. Like with the shuttle launches, they'd be like, liftoff of Discovery, something really exciting, expanding humans' visibility of the cosmos or something with the launch of Hubble, something along those lines. NASA is exciting about it. Everyone else just goes, 2, 1, ignition, liftoff, go SpaceX, go Falcon 9, go Starlink. That's not how you get people interested, though. Seriously. You need to have interesting launch calls.
Yeah, that's right. We do need to do so. I just want to kind of loop back real quick because Ekka's got a really good point here, which is that the Earthrise photo was considered to be a pretty major influence in kicking off the environmental movement of the 1970s. It's very true. Also, Launchpad. Good to have you with us, Launchpad. We could just take that one to air. That's what he said. We rise together back to the moon and beyond. I mean, that's neat.
But when SpaceX launched Falcon Heavy for the first time, they just said liftoff of Falcon Heavy.
Well, yeah, nobody knew if
that's all they said.
Nobody knew if we were going to watch an intact rocket continue or not. That's the thing. Jason here is saying, United Launch Alliance launches are like, go Atlas, go Centaur, go NROL 44.
NASA adds enthusiasm to the launch countdown.
They add spice.
The terminal count of a NASA vehicle is always the best from a commentary point of view. They don't just leave it to the net.
Yeah,
they do it themselves.
Yeah, and I'll say if somebody at SpaceX needs it, I can definitely be an announcer. Like I can, I can figure out witty lines to write down and things to say for it. So if anybody needs it, just saying. There's also, this is a good point. Jason, earlier this year, with, SpaceX had its American broomstick, moment, but I do feel like that does depend on the launch director. I don't know her name, but I have heard her voice specifically say very entertaining things at launch. Like adding things, with that.
But if you leave this to like a launch commentator whose sole purpose is making this thing entertaining for people to watch, then you can make interesting lines.
Yeah, and I feel like also in discussing launches as well on the uphill, when you're doing with that, you can also still keep that going as well. I know there's always NASA always seems so calm, cool, and collected. With everything, and sometimes I just, when I'm listening to it, I'm like, am I watching a rocket launch or am I watching a golf tournament? So it can kind of be like that. Sometimes that's how it do be. But yeah. Oh my gosh, everybody. Yeah. Everybody wants to start putting their own special launch. Okay, here you go, everybody. It's a Falcon 9. It's launching a Starlink. So here we go. Put your best ones. In this, and we'll start putting it up. And now, expanding global connectivity, and our united human spirit, Falcon 9 once again breaches the heavens, sprinkling starlinks and wonder amongst the cosmos. That's a really nice one.
That's good.
Like
they
that.
should say that at launch.
Okay, so Loopy's got a really good point here, which is that, Ariane Space and European Space Agency are leaps and bounds worse than NASA, and JAXA are the best sometimes because they have school kids doing the countdowns. That's very true.
Loopy.
Look,
Ariane Space. Okay, I'm going to say this the most politest way possible. Ariane Space needs to first get the video part of their webcast good. Showing the rocket, not the rocket in the background with 3 people on a talk show panel in front of it. Just show the rocket, okay? They need to get that bit fixed before they can then focus in sprinkling in the nice fancy bits that go on top of the launch coverage. Not the talk show coverage, the launch coverage. The big rocket behind you. You go, oh, that's a beautiful shot of the rocket. Put the rocket on top of the people. We don't want to see the people. We want to see the rocket.
I'm just doing Ariane Space here. There you go. Are you off your soapbox, Ryan?
Yep.
You there? Okay. I do want to say this. I don't know who the guy was. So back before they started to have welcome to Ariane chat in the middle of their launches, they had some guy who I've basically stolen the line from. I haven't heard the line in a really long time, but he would say, the Ariane 5 lifts off and rumble in the jungle is back once again, something like that. So every time I talk about...
literally, rumble in the jungle. It's a rumble in a jungle. Use it. It's so good and it rhymes. It's brilliant. But you have 3 people sitting at a desk in front of I'm back on the soapbox. You have 3 people sitting at a desk in front of a massive LCD screen. Just show us the screen, full screen. That's what we want to see. Yeah.
Yeah. Jack's got a good one here, which is that, the thing about SpaceX launch is still hearing the joy in the employees when the mission hits milestones. Same thing with Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab also has audio from their employees.
That's things that they really knock out of the park, but they should still have something inspirational said at the moment of launch.
Yeah, we haven't heard like a buffet hitting the floor in SpaceX in a long time. I don't know if there's.
I really want to hear that cutlery.
I don't know if there's anybody here who works at SpaceX, but if you do some cutlery in the next launch, I'll give you $5. So, Like, but it's got to be like a cataclysmic. No, I'm just kidding. That would be very, very not nice.
A whole tray of knives and forks and just throw them on the floor.
All right, Larry King.
Right, left off.
Larry King, glad to have you back. Hold jar. Jack King was great with the Saturn V commentary, and yes, if you have ever listened or watched a amazing, if you ever listened to the public loops for Saturn V launch, Jack King was fantastic. It's a fantastic NASA PAO. Public affairs officer. He just like, I don't know what it was. He just had this like strength in his voice, but it was like a reassuring strength. And then he also had like these really great ways of conveying things as well. So I don't know if that was just his voice, or the fact that there were big words often used, or both. Probably a little bit of both. So,
Arravale, once again, knocking it out of the park. SpaceX, you can have these for free. We will not charge you royalties.
Yep.
Just use them.
So much Winsula on this peninsula. Oh my gosh. That is, yeah. Although Pedro makes a good point here. I prefer to hear the rocket. If I'm going to be honest,
you can hear both. Have person in the left ear, rocket in the right ear. Hear both.
Oh, James, that's a very good point. If you're an OG Formula One fan, some of the energy of Murray Walker would be needed. By the way, thank you, David. Thank you for becoming a member with that there. Definitely appreciate it. So, yeah, could you imagine Murray Walker? Is Murray Walker before your time? I think so. Yeah. So that would be amazing. Fantastic! It's happened again. The Starlink is launching. See, I can't do his voice, but like he would just absolutely happy to do that. Launchpad, we could run a poll for rocket sound or host or both. So, or
let's go for it.
Make your own sound effects. Can we have 4 options? I know I just did this. Can we have 4 options? So we need Crofty screaming the wrong rocket names. We could definitely do that too. Or Morgan Freeman can do the commentary. So he'd be very, very calm. Smokey wants Yakety Sax being played with that there. So that's always an option with it there. You can play some good music. What would be some really good music for it? I feel like Rush's Countdown, because that's what it's about. That song is literally about the first flight of Columbia. So clearly that's Dudda's favorite Rush song, although I cannot speak for Dudda. So yeah. Somebody wants to do Smoke on the Water. There's a lot of people who want to just make their own rocket noises. So
16% want to make their own rocket noises.
Nice. That's pretty
35% want to hear the rocket, 43% want to hear the rocket and the commentator, only 9% want to hear just the commentator.
Wow. So nobody wants to hear the people talking. I mean, I don't disagree. So Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. That'd be a pretty good one. Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Freebird at Liftoff. So it would definitely take a very long I don't know if we're talking Liftoff when Freebird like reaches its peak. But that would take so long. I don't know if we have that kind of time. Actually, Arvale, this is something that you have jogged my memory about, which is that didn't Soyuz astronauts and cosmonauts get to pick their launch music? Yes, they did. They actually got to choose some music to listen to when they were up on top, waiting for launch. So I would do that too. So
yeah,
I would definitely. I guess we could ask our community if you could pick your own launch music. What would you listen to while you're sitting in there? Smoke Scale, very good choice there. Magic Carpet Ride, just like in Star Trek First Contact. That would be pretty good. Micronite going with the Meatloaf there with Bat Out of Hell. Very good. KJ saying Space Odyssey. David Bowie. Oh, BVeeb saying that they still do with that. So yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were doing that. Smokey said Back in Black, but also James has a really good point here, which is for the second trip, Back in Black. So that makes sense because you're going back to space. So Fly Me to the Moon, classic. Very nice. Very nice. So also, I know this song, but I cannot pronounce it correctly, so I'm not even going to try. Ride of the Valkyries with that there. Stairway to Heaven, but you'll never get the rights. Denied with that there. So yeah, apparently everybody wants to go with this, with it there. But yeah, interesting. Larry DeMarch. Fantastic.
That's good. That's good.
Yet again, one of our Falcon 9s places 54 Starlink satellites in orbit, increasing the capability for internet communication and increasing the angst of astronomers around the globe. So very, very nice with that one. So everybody is apparently they have noticed my Wayne's World reference, but yes, Smokey, that was a very important movie in my life. Walter wants the Thomas the Tank Engine song, but an excessively loud one. Is that like when Thomas Pesquet, for his wake-up music, chose the, I don't know if I could say it on air, but I'll just say the really bad flute version of Aha's Take on Me. It's a much stronger word, but obviously I'm trying to make sure I don't say that strong of a word there with it. So got some Blondie, Dragonfly from Eka in here. So Kevin wants to do People Are People. Marcus wants to do Here Comes the Sun, especially at Ignition for night launches. Yeah, so it's the theme song to Serenity, the theme song from Arthur the Aardvark, Let's Make It Happen, 99 Red Balloons. So yeah, we're just
listing songs now.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just about to say we are at this point just listing songs. So we're not gonna get a copyright strike for listing songs, are we? So that's Cardi B. Everybody wants to rule the world by Tears to Tears. I was listening to that before the show started. Probably when it should have been fixing things. So yeah. So, anyways, all right. That I think we're done. Everybody's
enough songs.
That's enough music. It should use the music from Doom. Will your spacecraft play Doom? Can the Crew Dragon play Doom? So I'm pretty sure.
I mean, Orion has Orion, which has just gone offline, has an iPad inside of the Callisto Amazon talkie lady, because I won't say her name, machine. Called Callisto. So if you can get Doom to run on an iPad, which I am 100% certain has happened before, then you can play Doom on Orion.
Okay, hold on a second. I want to show the Orion because I want to show the party mode lights. They had party mode lights, and is Twitter not working for me? And it does not appear to be working.
Yay.
So $44 billion, and this is what I get. I have the audio off on this, right? Okay, here we go. From our good friends at Lockheed Martin Space. Let me make sure I can pull this up correctly without exploding our system that we currently have. How's that? Can you see it? Okay, turn on the party mode lights. Woohoo! Party mode!
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So, very nice. Very
Munikin
nice.
having an absolute wild time in the Orion capsule there.
Yeah, and Sean and Snoopy having a great time. Although
I can't see him though.
Jamie doesn't believe in Sean and Snoopy, so
no.
So that's why Jamie's not here, because we're talking about them. So, but yeah, I figure if you've got a spacecraft, you need to have a party mode. and that works pretty good if you ask me. So yeah, I'm absolutely ready for that. Yes.
Oh, Orion's back.
What's
there
up?
You go. You can actually see it now. You can actually see. This is live. You can see the Orion capsule in the ISM. The ISM. There.
Do they actually have that? Is it actually called the ESM, or is it called something better?
It's the ESM, the European Service Module. That's the official name, but the ISM sounds just,
Yeah. I like Robert saying the RGB gaming lights.
RGB gaming lights is scientifically proven to make anything run faster. It's like red stripes on a car. It physically makes it faster. So by having RGB lights in Orion, it makes it faster to get to the moon.
Or if it's just all red, it's 3 times faster. That's just Gundam rules. That's how we're doing this here. So in case anybody needed to,
Jason, RGB increases the delta V.
Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. So, yeah, and they have their programmer socks in their kit with that as well. So, very good with that. So, interesting. Jason actually, instead of can't say home pods, can we say Orion has space pods inside? Nice. I miss space pods. They were a lot of fun to work with. So anyways, yeah, so good stuff. Ask Courtney is saying, ask any truck driver, every piece of chrome adds 5 horsepower to it there. So very, very nice. Scott's saying 1970s era LEDs. I don't think so. I think that they mean, I think the LEDs are pretty up to date. So, Walter here, I like that one. Red means hot and blue means cold, so the color changing is thermal management.
That's good.
Very nice. The computer on board has decided to heat and chill Orion at the same time to throw off the humans that are in there. I'm sorry, Doug, I can't do that right now. So pretty nice with that there. You got anything else, Ryan, to talk about with that? Because we were also getting some of the fresh launch video of Space Launch System as well. Like
so if you saw in news on Monday, you would have seen a little snippet of the SLS launch video, which is, I don't know why it took so long to get it, probably some ITAR stuff. I don't know, ITAR, everyone says ITAR. Is it ITAR? Or downlinking? I don't. Anyway, we got fresh core stage launch video, and it's very cool. So if you want to see that, you should totally go and see news if you haven't seen it already, because it's very good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm trying to pull it up like right now, but like it's just not really. It's just not.
It's also like, as with all of this high res footage that NASA uploads, it's like quite large, so it may take a little bit of buffering.
Yeah. Also, by the way, I was just going to throw it on. I went ahead and grabbed the live view from Orion right now.
Oh yeah, there you go.
From NASA's channel. I thought that it might have been possibly one of those like deceiver channels that you might have been talking about accidentally, but no, turns out you're correct. Yeah. It is an actual thing. That's just how out of the loop I've been with that. So, excellent, good stuff with it. So yeah, just go on NASA's own YouTube channel and you can check that out on your own, because right now you're watching us, which thankfully we had that delay, so which is why you're now watching us. So here, so actually I'm kind of a little bit glad that we're delayed, because I'm very mad at Northrop Grumman for deciding to run the B-21 unveiling against us. That was just uncalled for to ruin our views, clearly. Yeah, so good stuff. I'm super excited about all that really great all that great footage that came down, because it's just so good. I just remember everybody was complaining about all the not so great footage immediately, and it was like, yeah, just wait, hold up on it. So
Imagine trying to download a big file, right?
Yeah.
But instead of being able to plug into the Ethernet, you are hundreds, thousands miles away from the Earth.
Yes.
And you've got to go via slow connections over long distances.
And no buoys.
And no buoys.
Yeah, absolutely no buoys. So that makes it very, very difficult. So with that there. So, all right. Very, very cool. Do you have anything else, Ryan? To kind of
I have this.
What is that?
That
art?
is an plane.
An plane?
It's an plane called Cosmic Girl, which you may or may not have heard of before. Big 747-400 owned by Virgin Orbit has been flying again today, but Twitter very, very usefully decided to send me a notification to say when it had landed and not when it had taken off. So I didn't know it was flying until it had completed flying.
What?
If I knew it was flying, I would have streamed it. Anyways, over that little gripe with Twitter, so Cosmic Girl has been flying around today. I'm going to try trace it out here, but I'm looking at a feed of my mouse, which is about 5 seconds delayed, because it's got to go to California and back again whilst I control it. So you can see, it took off this way, and they flew the route out of Cornwall into the Atlantic, and just at the top here is Ireland, as they say. Cork is like here-ish, I think. So this is this loop which you see here. This is the actual position of the orbit, as they say in aeronautical terms. The orbit which they will fly before they drop the rocket. So they join this hold pattern essentially, and they fly around to the right here, this inner pattern up here, and they do this. So they're during all that time they're checking out the rocket, and then at this point here, this is where Virgin Orbit will drop Cosmic Girl. Obviously, they didn't today, or it would splash into the ocean and all the payloads would be lost. And then they fly very quickly. They bank to the right in the 747 so they don't get crushed into with their own rocket, which they just dropped. They loop around back to the right. And then on launch day, they continue flying this way, but they return straight to Newquay. This isn't launch day, this is a rehearsal. So they continued on, just slightly, a lot closer to the coast of Cornwall, but still slightly into the Atlantic. They did a few more holding patterns here, doing different things. And then they, at this point, they obviously decided they had enough. So they turned around, came home, and then flew over to here, started descending through this part here. Did a very strange right turn by doing 270 degrees to the left, descending down and then landing back at Newquay Airport. So that was the last test flight that they did, Virgin Orbit, of Cosmic Girl, was all the way back in October, when they first got here. We're still waiting for that launch license, Mr. and Mrs. CAA, cough cough. So if you would like to get that done, and get that in the post, that'd be very, very, very much appreciated.
Yeah.
Civil Aviation Authority.
Yeah, maybe step it up a little bit. So, and everybody was complaining about the FAA. So, let me tell you.
I mean, I think, I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat, I think that the CAA are purposely delaying Virgin Orbit until Skyrora gets a successful launch. So Skyrora are the first to launch from the UK. Extreme sarcasm needs to be realized there.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, that's very exciting.
Whoa, that's bright.
Whoa, what's going on? The sun!
It's bright.
Oh, who lit the solids? So just wait until you Harvale, very nice. Just wait until you meet the FAA's British cousin. So is that like the Stig?
The funny thing is, the CAA has someone from the Space Licensing Department of the FAA now working for them on loan because it's taking so long. They've had to borrow someone from the Federal Aviation Authority because they can't do it themselves.
If you've never done it before, it doesn't hurt to have somebody who does. Right?
Yeah, but it's also... Virgin Orbit wouldn't have flown over here in October if they knew that the launch license at the start of December still wouldn't be here.
Well, look, it was a very...
They would have waited until now.
It was a very narrow time that they could have displayed the Launcher 1 mock-up at the Science Museum there. So they had to get it in. So, with it there. Scott, a very culturally appropriate one there. Very much. Pretty funny. If for those of you who've ever read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Oh, yeah, this is a good one right here. Ryan, we need you to have a button where you can put sarcasm alert on your really real screen. So maybe that would, I think that would be, I could control that with the Stream Deck over here. But that would be very, very difficult on my front.
Oh, that's nice. Spelling alert. Here we go.
What's up?
I'll make it Comic Sans as well, so it's really obvious.
Are you putting it out in the back? You are.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so mad I can't actually take your camera right now. And for those of you who are wondering why, go back to the beginning and you can find out. With that.
I'll make it a bit smaller so you can actually see it. Hang on.
I need you to just pull... I need you to just pull that out one day when Jamie is here, because Jamie is not a fan of Comic Sans, with it, if I recall correctly. So I don't know. I've been wrong on that front before. So, gosh, that's funny. So that's great.
Oh, can I add a slide?
I need
slide
my
Does this
own
work?
one back here somewhere, like a small satellite to go past, saying it or something. So. When's the next time April 1st is on a Friday? I don't know. That's a tough one. See, April 1st was on a Friday this year, and I was so on board with us doing some unbelievable pranks during the live show, but it just never happened. So, but you did some.
You got a space news about a nuclear starship and NASA bringing back the space shuttle because SLS was taking so long, which was actually plausible enough for some people to think it was real.
Yes.
Even though, like I clearly said, look, when this video was released, you might want to fact check some of these things.
Yes. Eka, as usual, doing a great job with us in the chat room. 6 years from now, so 2028. So about the time.
So if we're still around then.
So probably be about the time starships actually get into the moon. Sorry, I had to take it. Sorry. I'm sorry. It won't be 2028. It'll be 2033. Anyways, with who fact checks in 2022? We do, Micronite. We do. All of us here at Tomorrow do. Yeah. So very, very entertaining. That was a good one. I did enjoy that news. It was really, really funny. With it there. So, you got anything else to tell us about with that there?
That is everything that I've collected for today's live show.
Okay, very, very cool. So can I talk about somebody that like we have not talked about in an extremely long time, and I feel like more people should talk about them. Sure, why not? Like these folks right here. Y'all know who this is? So
it's a big plane, people. It's Stratolaunch.
That's right. I really do like Stratolaunch. I think they're really, really cool. So we're all allowed to nerd out and have that like one company that we all like can like cheer here at Tomorrow. And for me, that's Stratolaunch. Like that is my one. So yeah, there's Rock. They're a really big airplane, and they're carrying one of their soon-to-be hypersonic test vehicles right there, which I think that's really, really cool. So they did. This was quite a while ago, and I've been trying to get it on the show for a very while, as well. So yeah. So I'm now.
Can you rewind that a second to the cockpit shot?
Sure. Yeah, as you can see now.
I just want to. This is okay. There we go. Right, pause it there. Just look how insane that is. Okay, I'm just gonna have a bit of a nerd out moment.
Okay.
6 engines.
Oops,
a 6-engine
Sorry.
throttle quadrant is is cool to see. I'm just having my nerdy moment. Because the Antonov, what was it? The Mila, I think, which was destroyed in Ukraine, had 6 engines. This also has 6 engines. Are there any other planes that have 6 jet engines?
Not that I can think of immediately.
Just 6. I just think that's cool because very commonly you see 2 engines in the center, 3 if it's a tri-jet, 4 if it's a quad jet, but a 6 engine jet is I think it's a very rare thing to see, and that just fascinates me. Anyway, carry on.
Well, Jason's saying the Antonov 225, which is the Mira that you're talking about there. The B-36, excuse me, the Peacemaker from right around WW2 here in the United States, 6 turning, 4 burning with it there. So, or no, was it? Oh no, I'm sorry, that's 6 propellers. Oh my gosh, where am I? Anyways, I know where I am. I'm just enjoying the sight of this gigantic airplane.
3 people saying that the B-52 has 8 engines, and but that's not 6. I think 6 is a very... I did say 6, I'm just going to say. But yes, the B-52 does have 8. That's even rarer. Anyway, talk about the video. They're going
to have a hypersonic test vehicle, and I just absolutely cannot wait to see that, because if any of you have ever looked at my Twitter or now Mastodon, you know that I am an absolute hypersonic nerd. And I think hypersonic vehicles are super cool. And I think it's awesome that nature is like, oh, you want to go supersonic? You better make a dart. Oh, you want to go even faster? You better make a thin line. Oh, you want to go hypersonic? Wedge. So it's just really, really great. And I'm super excited to see Stratolaunch also actually doing things. Not necessarily saying that Stratolaunch doesn't do things, but it's just really cool to watch a company that is,
so far they've only really been testing the plane, and by testing the plane they've done only like a handful of flights. So actually seeing them start to get payload onto the plane, which is the point of the plane, is exciting to see that progress.
Yeah, it's been through like such a thing where it was like, we're going to launch the Falcon Air with it. Okay, maybe we're not. We're going to launch our own rocket with it. Okay, maybe
it's a bit like SLS, but for planes.
Make a Pegasus 2 with it. Okay, I guess not. So it's an SLS of planes.
Well, there's so much history, you've got your National Launch System, which is your Falcon, and then you've got your Ares 5, which is your Pegasus 2, and now you've got your SLS, which is your Italian hypersonic test bed.
Yeah, so I'm so excited about it. So now I guess like with SLS, Orange Rocket good, can we be like Big Rock good or something like that, or? Because they've given the nickname to the plane Rock, ROC, with that. So can we call it Big Rock good? I don't know. So I guess we'll have to find out with that.
Says big plane good.
Big plane good. Yeah, that's we could just say that too. With that there. So oh my God, Loopy, I just read that. I'm not bringing that one to air, but it was funny. So I've got another one if we want to go there, with it. So if you want to see this, it's some cool stuff. So, like literally some cool stuff with this here. Sorry, I'm looking for my button, for it here. If you watch the beginning of the show, you'll understand. There we go. Look at that. That is Titan. One of the moons of Saturn, one of the biggest moons in our solar system. So big it has its own atmosphere. We know it's got liquid, lakes of liquid methane, or how would you say it, Ryan?
Methane.
What? How? I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit.
Methane.
Okay, very cool. I just think that's cool. It's relatively same language, different ways to pronounce it. So nice. But yes, guess what took these images? It was.
Was it your camera?
No. It was not.
Was it one of the telescopes which you put like a coin in at Griffith and then point upwards and see stuff?
Yes. But in all seriousness, before people actually believe us, because we have credence on this show, apparently, as we talked about earlier, this was taken by J-Dub, Jelescope, Wellescope, Space Telescope, with that there.
Telescope, Wellescope.
Oh my God.
Ching.
Cha-ching. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. You put a $10 billion coin in it. Oh, man. All right. Well, here it is. Very, very cool place. I mean, literally cool. It's very cold there if you're going to have methane as a liquid. Because of J-Dub's wavelengths it's looking at in the infrared, it can actually see things like lower atmosphere and clouds. There's a little bit of atmosphere and surface there as well. So what's really amazing is that we can study Titan in this kind of detail from this far away. And that y'all probably heard me harping about the fact that J-Dub ain't just going to be working with cosmology. It'll also be planetary science from the outer planets out. And yeah, here you go. Already on the way to doing that. Arvale is actually bringing up a really good point, which is that I would so love to fly on Titan one day. Titan's atmosphere is just a little bit thicker than the Earth's, and its gravity is a lot less than the Earth's. So if you made wings, you could actually fly on Titan. So be pretty sick to pull that off. So
like how they used to in the good old days before the Wright brothers, they had like big bird wings and they like flap like this. I have to do it short so you can actually see it like this.
Jason, can we find some sort of extremophiles there? Possibly. That is a place that it could potentially happen. But of course we would have to send some pretty big equipment there to do that. Also, just showing you, it did do co-observation. J-Dub and the Keck did that together. See what's in our social just now from that there. So there you go. You can see those areas with the clouds in Titan's atmosphere as well. So again, there goes the Jelescope, Wellescope, Space Telescope, just bringing or losing the heat, if you will, with that there. So really great stuff from it. Also, I'm going to pull up what's in social because it's making me giggle pretty funny with that there. I guess that's how we're going to fly on
That's
Titan.
how we're going to fly around Titan.
Nice. Yeah. Sick. So there. Yeah, that would be amazing. Even with it looking that silly, I think I would still go for it. So absolutely. So that's like classic. That's like mythology happening right there. So that's the tagline for the show. That's like mythology. So pretty good.
That's the title for the show.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with space, but everything to do with nothing. Anyways, I think that actually kind of does it. I think that kind of says it all for the show today, if I'm going to be honest, with everything there. Because I guess we still do want to do a little bit of a member stream after this. And if you would like to become a member of Tomorrow, you should definitely...
I'm just going to apologise beforehand. I completely forgot to update the slates.
Okay.
We were a bit preoccupied.
Yeah.
I'll put that one out there. So if you have subscribed over the last couple of weeks, or joined the membership program, should I say, and your name isn't on there, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll do it for next week.
Yeah, don't worry, we got
We're
you
a bit
covered.
busy.
So yeah, so you were busy, and then us here in the States, we were on holiday and things like that. So don't worry, we'll get you pretty soon. But of course, we want to thank all of our members of Tomorrow, starting of course out with NeuroStream, who is our Tomorrow Model 33 Plaid Pro Plus member. NeuroStream, thank you so much. You absolutely rock. I think we got to figure out how to. What were some of the other things that we had to do for that? Well, we got to figure them out. We got to remember. We got to sit down and remember.
Put NeuroStream's name on set. I think was like the last one remaining.
That's not 204 there. Okay. Well, I guess I don't know what I'm floating past when I'm trying to park my Jeep in there. All right. Let's see how this goes. So we also have our escape velocity citizens as well. These folks are able to get access to our escape velocity channel in our Discord, so they get to see things like in real time today's troubleshooting of the technical issues before Ryan and I took it to DMs to try to continue on that front with it. So you got to see it happen live and live on two legs in front of you, and also some of our jokes and other things that we talk about, early access to scripts and other stuff like that. Our Orbital members as well. Of course, thank you all so much. And if you're wondering about our Discord, you absolutely can sign up for it. Lots of fun on there. Dr. Shrimp Puerto Rico. That is, sometimes the names I see when we do all these, they're amazing. So Suborbital, thank you all so much for helping us out to help make these shows possible. And if you want to become a TMRO member, you just got to go over to youtube.com/TMRO/join. And the really cool thing about that is that you get to join us for the after shows, for the members streams, even if you are a ground support member, with that as well. It doesn't take much to become a member of TMRO, let me tell you. Just a few bucks, that's it. Are there any funny names in this one here as I look at this? I see Nerd Plays Games, so it's a pretty it's a pretty good one. The Hammer. So that's a nice one with it. So what is that? Spherical rat. So that sounds like a balloon. If you will.
Ground umbilical carrier plate. That's a good one.
Oh, that's great there. I love it. There's also our systems support group. And just head on over to youtube.com/TMRO/join and take a gander and see what you might be able to make happen. So every little bit helps, seriously. Even liking, subscribing, commenting below, actually watching the show when we get it on time or when we run late like we did today. Just however you can help out with it. We absolutely love that you do it. So Ryan, I think that's it for us. I think you and I are both a little tired from having to basically MacGyver chewing gum, a bobby pin, and a small amount of methane to get this show started. If you're a member, we're going to be continuing. We just dropped the links for that there. If you're not, maybe consider becoming a member so you could continue to join us for maybe like the next 20 or so minutes or something. I don't know. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I will be here next week. Ryan, will you be here next week?
We'll find out.
Okay. We'll take a gander. All right. So bye, everybody. We'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.
I've got to press the button and I've lost my mouse.
You have to press the button. So
there it is.
We can't even end this without